The FIA are in trouble. Do you want to know why? Because I do. So, the FIA are in big trouble recently. A lot of things have happened and a lot of things are coming up which are going to cause them to have a problem. So, there's a few images on the screen right now. As you can see, there's Toto Wolff and Susie Wolff. I'm sure you've all heard about that drama. You've got the track limits drama, which we have seen all season long. You've got the Concorde agreement, which soon comes to an end, and that is a big problem for the FIA. And you have Abu Dhabi 2021. So, as we might know, some of you might not, but you will now, the Concorde agreement, which ties F1 and the FIA together, ends in 2025. This means that teams and Formula One in itself with Liberty Media could move away from the FIA and create their own championship ruled by their own governing standards. It's been well reported, especially within recent weeks and months, that team principals are currently not happy with the actions of the FIA or the FIA president and how they are dealing with situations, track penalties, changes of rules, regulation sets, and all that jazz. Teams just aren't happy right now. We all know that the FIA president has caused a lot of problems recently. You only have to go back to the start of 2022 when he decided that he wanted to make a name for himself by going for Lewis Hamilton. Jewelrygate, as it was called. We then only have to look at him overseeing the report from the Abu Dhabi 2021 situation to realise that there is a lot of problems currently. You've also got the current situation where the FIA, Formula One are unwilling to take action into closing up the grid like they have done with previous teams like Mercedes, like they did with previous teams like Ferrari, McLaren. All these teams in the past have had to deal with rule changes during a regulation set to keep their dominance. But that doesn't seem like it's going to happen anytime soon within Formula One. And this is causing teams to be unhappy. It's just come to my attention, 63% of you are not subscribed. What are you doing? Click that red button right now. Next, and the biggest and latest drama within the FIA and Formula One is the Wolff drama. Like, what more can we say? There was a unreputable article from, I think it's called F1 Business, and that is a magazine that is owned and potentially funded, allegedly, by Bernie Ecclestone, one of Lewis Hamilton and Mercedes' biggest haters. He just doesn't want to see him do well. But he apparently owns the F1 Business magazine where the article was published, so he could have had a hand in this. Obviously, to give you a bit more detail on the Wolff drama, there was a situation where an article was reported that a team principal was unhappy with the relationship between Toto Wolff and Susie Wolff, Toto being the team principal of Mercedes and part owner of Mercedes F1 team, and Susie Wolff being the head of the F1 Academy. There was no real source within this article. It was unknown this, unknown that, blah, blah, unnamed this, unnamed that. So there was no real source. And this has now led to Toto Wolff and Susie Wolff exploring all legal channels for a potential legal battle compensation claim towards the FIA as a result of what has happened, because it will have damaged the reputation of Mercedes, damaged the reputation of Toto and both Susie, while also attacking their characters. This is something that in Formula One and the FIA just cannot go on. There's not much that I need to say on this topic. Everyone knows what happened in Abu Dhabi. There's not a lot that I need to say on this topic of Abu Dhabi 2021. I won't make my feelings known, but I think we're all aware of where my allegiances lie and how I feel about the situation. I don't feel like the FIA dealt with this in the correct manner, and I think it has caused a drop-off in standards from stewarding to everything, teams overtaking standards, wheel-to-wheel racing, it's all gone down the drain since this season, really, when they began to change rules in the favour of Max Verstappen and Red Bull. Firstly, starting with the start of the 2021 season, where the aero rules were changed, which targeted really high rate cars like the Mercedes and Racing Point or Aston Martin at the time, caused big problems for them. But Abu Dhabi 2021 was never, and probably will never, be resolved and dealt with in the correct manner, and that's something which will always cause problems for Formula One. Whenever something happens in Formula One, Toto Wolff is always there to go, 2021, he always brings it up. And Christian Horner, he's a genius at deflecting from it. When we was in Abu Dhabi last time, what did he go and do? Oh, Lewis Hamilton wants to sign a contract with Red Bull. Lewis Hamilton contacted us. His team contacted us. So we all know where the paddock lies on this. Everyone knows there's multiple drivers, team principals, even Horner, Verstappen, Leclerc, Gasly, Norris have all gone, Lewis Hamilton's an 8-time world champion. We've all seen them say it. Even the pundits can't stop themselves. So it's a big, big problem in the F1 world right now that never got dealt with, that they bowed down to the likes of Wheatley, Christian Horner, Max Verstappen. It's the biggest problem in Formula One, and it's led to the situation that we are in now. And finally, one of the biggest problems in recent years with Formula One is track limits. Now, I understand this season that they've tried to make it better, to introduce new things to stop people breaking track limits, but then you only have to go back to the Austin GP, where you see the likes of Sergio Perez, who should have had 75 seconds worth of penalties. Haas conducted their own investigation, put in an appeal, but the FIA weren't willing to hear from it. But I guarantee you, if that track limits was Lewis Hamilton or George Russell, the penalty would have been applied. He'd have been dropped out of the points, and his race would have been non and void, really. We just know that that is the case. Also, another rule which needs to be discussed is the random selection for testing after the race. We now know that it isn't random, and it's all based on data. They have data coming through on their screens where they can see which cars might be scraping or which cars might have less fuel and stuff like that, and that is how they test. But why did they have everyone believe it was random? And as we know, Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc fell foul of this random data selected pool in Austin. So just to close out this video, I want you to let me know what you think about the FIA. Do you think they're in trouble with F1? Do you think that the F1 and FIA will come to an agreement around the Concorde agreement for 2025? Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think, and I'll catch you in the next video. Make sure to go and find me on TikTok, pictured here, and Twitter, pictured here. These are the places where I'll keep you all up to date with all my upcoming videos and my thoughts and feelings around the Formula One and football weekend.